everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I have been a little bit under the weather lately and I haven't been feeling well, but look at this growth on my right hand. You guys, I need to get this video out. This was the last thing I recorded on my camera. I'm very proud of myself because those are my natural nails. So at this point I'm doing an overlay, but I also wanted to give you an in-depth tutorial of how I do a polygel fill and how I get rid of my old set. What you saw in the beginning is what I do in between sets. If it hasn't really grown out a lot, I just kind of file it all down or file it down to where it's still a decent shape and then just throw some top coat over it. And in today's video, I wanted to use my iMethod clear polygel because they actually sent it to me as PR around Christmas time. But I thought it was my kids' gifts, and so I only did a video on their polish, and I forgot to do, or I didn't do a video for the polygel, so I wanted to test it out and see how it worked today. I have previously opened it, but you can see right now I'm just going in with one of my favorite drill bits. This has been one of my favorite bits lately from Melody Susie. It's a coarse tornado bit, I believe is what it's called, and it's really amazing and really awesome. And it's one of my favorite things. So it doesn't burn. So I found that ceramic bits don't really burn as much as these sanding bands. So I'm just going in with a fine grit sanding band. It's a 240 sanding band. I'm going around my cuticle. I am making sure that the polygel or the previous polygel has no lifting and that it's flush with my natural nail. And then I file my natural nail, and this is what everything is looking like. So then I just go in one more time. This is where I push back my cuticles a little bit more and just clean underneath them and get all the dust out with a lint-free wipe. And then this is the secret to my nails lasting so long. To be honest, it's my Nail Matrix Prep and Prime. You could shop with the Nail Matrix and use code NENE15 to save 15% off. I always do one coat of dehydrator and then I do 2 coats of primer. You don't have to do it, primer on the existing polygel or whatever product that you have on your nails, but I do go ahead and prime the entire nail twice. Again, make sure everything gets in those grooves and ridges really well. And this works for me. I don't know whatever is in here, whatever is in this, it's non-acid. It doesn't burn. It hasn't burnt me anyway, I should say. My nails are pretty thin and sensitive, but I really enjoy this primer. And if you hear a lot of background noise, I mean, at this point I just don't care. My whole family's awake. Everybody's watching something different on a TV. They're playing on computers. My baby's watching Lucas the Spider. So but I just really wanted to get this video out because I have some more PR to do, and I also have another collaboration coming up, so stay tuned for that. So this is what the polygel looks like. Like I said, it does look like a little crystallized around the opening there, and you can see that it just kind of looks weird, so I do wipe that off. I have a little bit of a hard time, so I just use the spatula end of my brush to eventually get that polygel off. Now it does look like this all the time, but once you get the polygel on the nail and you start using it, it's good to go. And I can honestly say I haven't had a lot of or any lifting with this polygel. I did get it a little thin around the edges of my nails, so it did lift a little bit on the edges, but that I wouldn't blame that on the polygel. But I also, since my nails are shorter, I apply it in the shape that I want. So you can see where I want my apex to start, so that is also where I applied my bead. And it's a little thicker in that area because that's the part that I'm going to press back towards my cuticle. I don't want my cuticle very thick, but I want the part where I put the polygel bead to be a little thicker. So I guess maybe that could help someone, like if that's where you want to start your apex, then that's where you can put your bead and then thin it out as you go down the nail. If I was doing a longer nail, I would use the 2 bead method. I find that the most helpful with polygel, but this was just a quick fill and I just really wanted to use this product. This polygel was very easy to work with. It wasn't extremely hard and I didn't have a hard time molding it, so that was really nice. But it also stayed in place, right? So it wasn't so stiff that I couldn't move it, but it didn't move anywhere on my nail. Especially sometimes this polygel warms up with your natural warmth of your nail. It does flood your cuticle, or it will move. Like, it won't move, but it will look like it's melting on your nail. And this stuff did not do that, so I really like that. And of course, if you have any excess polygel left over as you're smoothing things out, then you can go ahead and just take that off with the tip, around the tip of your nail. But for the most part, yeah, this was really easy to do. I'm getting a lot better with polygel as far as how big of a, how big of a dot do I put on my nail, or a bead, or some people don't like it when you call polygel a bead, but in my mind it's a bead, just like acrylic. But yeah, I'm getting a lot better with squeezing it out of the tube and knowing how much to use and how much not to use, and when and where I want my beads to be placed for a successful application. So I'm just going to let some music play, and I'll show you the gel paint design that I used my Beetles gel polishes, and I'll just let some music play and let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I pretty much said everything that I want to say, except for I also cure for 60 seconds, even though it's a clear polygel, after each nail, or if I do multiple nails at a time, then I still cure for 60 seconds in between. I'd like to thank you all so much for being the best part of my channel, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.